Ahli-ahli yang berhormat, I had received a motion from the Honourable Member for Padungan. I shall call upon the Honourable Member to read out this motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll read out the motion again. This is my motion. Whereas on 14 May 2026, in my debate on the motion of thanks to Tuan Yang Terutama, Yang di-Pertuan Negeri Sarawak, for His Excellency's address, I've mentioned the name of an individual who is among those 21 persons arrested and charged in court for involvement in gangsterism and organized criminal group, and his close association with some SUPP leaders. And whereas the Deputy Speaker, who was presiding over the Dun proceedings then, on his own accord, ruled that the statement by the Yang Berhormat Padungan in as far as it has mentioned SUPP and SUPP leaders to be expunged, unquote. And the court mentioning all these names just now be expunged, unquote. Again, after referred to as the Deputy Speaker's said ruling. And whereas pursuant to the Deputy Speaker's said ruling, several parts of my debate concerning the person Yo Lip Hong, stroke Oscar Yo, and his close association with SUPP and or its leaders, bracket, appearing in pages 56 to 60 of the Hansard, close bracket, were all expunged from the Hansard on 14 May 2026. And whereas the said Speaker's said ruling is an affront to the very cornerstone and spirit of parliamentary democracy for the people's representatives to speak freely, and thus is most unwise because, 1. The fact that this Yo Lip Hong or Oscar Yo has been charged in court for involvement in organized criminal group under Section 130, capital V for Venezuela, bracket 1 of the Penal Code was widely reported. 2. On 15 May 2026, when he and his gang were brought to court for further remand, it was carried out under the highest police security, with many of the police officers wearing bulletproof vests and carrying semi-auto machine guns. The whole process was recorded and shown in video clips of many mainstream media and widely reported nationwide. 3. It is most absurd that when media across the nation are reporting the matter, the discussion of such matter that has caused wide public concerns were forbidden by the Deputy Speaker and disallowed to be recorded in the Hansard. 4. The fact that this Yo Lip Hong, together with 20 others, are brought to court in such manner and that they are now under detention pursuant to Security Offences Special Measures Act 2012, which is more commonly known as SOSMA, speaks volume that they are dangerous characters. 5. The close association of SUPP with this Yo Lip Hong has also been widely reported in local media and social media. The SUPP leader, SUPP president, was reported in the news appearing with this Yo Lip Hong in school, with the latter portrayed as a philanthropist to the primary school students and their parents. On another occasion, this Yo Lip Hong was also photographed sitting next to Honorable Member for Batu Kitang in the swearing-in ceremony of SUPP Batu Kitang Branch Committee. 6. The public displays of the close association between political leaders and those involved in organized criminal group is against public interests and most undesirable. It sends a wrong message to the public that this person and the gang of 24 have the support and endorsement of the state government, given that SUPP is the ruling political party in Sarawak. 7. The Deputy Speaker's said ruling to expunge my debate in relation to the matter also gives the impression that this august House is condoning and endorsing such illegal activity by attempting to cover up the matter and forbidding the discussion thereof in this august House. And 8. By forbidding even the mention of the names of the individual involved in the gang, the said Deputy Speaker's said ruling and this august House are not doing justice to the good effort of the officers of Police Diraja Malaysia, who have taken great effort to carry out the arrest, to investigate the gang, and to hold these persons under SOSMA pending prosecution in court. Therefore, it is moved that this august House hereby resolves that the Deputy Speaker's said ruling be reversed and the expunged words of the Honourable Member for Padungan be reinstated in the Hansard on 14th of May 2026. That is my motion, Mr. Speaker. Before I sit down, I would like to also invoke Standing Order 39, which refers to a standing order to review the decision of the Speaker.
Yang berhormat, the Honourable Member for Padungan has raised notice of motion this morning under Standing Order 23, bracket 2, bracket B. The reason why I asked the member to read out the motion is that this notice of motion should not be raised the first thing in the morning, because the Dewan has not started the order of the day. It is for the Dewan to start the order of the day before any notice of motion can be started or raised. Standing Order 12, bracket 1, on every sitting day, government business shall have precedence over private members' business. Standing Order 12, bracket 2, government business shall be set down in such order as the government thinks fit and communicate to the Secretary. Standing Order 32, bracket 2, sub judice, they are charged in court on Friday, 15 May 2026. Member for Padungan said on this in Dun on 14 May 2026, before they are being charged. Now, at the material time, the case is sub judice and they are yet to be proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt. 4. Since the relevant part of the speech is reiterated this morning, the repeated part made this morning has to be expunged by way of consistency and the rule of consistency. 5. Standing Order 32, bracket 6. No member shall impute improper motive to any other member to make any statement or allegation which the said member is not prepared to substantiate. Impute proper motive implicating all LCP members when the charge is yet to be proven beyond reasonable doubt. 6. Paragraph 6, 7, and 8 of the motion, read as a whole, cast dark aspersion and criminal allegations against this August House, in particular in paragraph 7, and I quote, the August House is condoning and endorsing such illegal activity by attempting to cover up. This motion is in contempt of the Dewan. Standing Order 82, bracket 2, no member may, within or outside the Dewan, by conduct, action or words, ridicule, dispute, show contempt for or deliberately refuse to obey such ruling of the chair. Erskine May, 25th edition, chapter 21.44, page 507 to 508, quote, where any disorderly or unparliamentary words are used, whether by a member who is addressing the House or by a member who is present during a debate, the Speaker will intervene and will call upon the offending member to withdraw such words. It continues. 7. Upon reading the motion by the honourable member for Padungan, understanding Order 2023, bracket 2, P, it stated, quote, therefore it is moved that this House hereby resolve that the Deputy Speaker's ruling be reversed and expunged word of the honourable member of Padungan to be reinstated in the Hansard on 14 May 2026. This motion seeks to review the decision of the Deputy Speaker. Thus, it is wrong for the member for Padungan to quote Standing Order 23, bracket 2, bracket P, and it should go by way of Standing Order 39 by way of subsequent motion, which requires 2 days' notice. 2 days' notice have not been given. 8. According to Erskine May, 25th edition, page 437, rule in paragraph 20.14, quote, motions for debate should not generally exceed 250 words. The motion contains 648 words and therefore should be rejected. Motion is dismissed. Ruling by the Deputy Speaker is upheld. Now I call upon the honourable member.
This afternoon also be expunged.
and okay, also this afternoon the relevant part be expunged. I've given my ruling. Now I call upon Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri John Siki Anak Tayai, Minister for Jabatan Premier, to menyampai ucapan penggolongan. I've given my ruling. That's it. I've given my ruling. I've given 8 grounds. Yeah.
Sugula Sejalai. Thank you for giving me the time and opportunity to deliver my winding up speech this afternoon. Now, I will now speak on matters relating to my portfolio, which covers the following agencies, namely the Native Courts of Sarawak, Majlis Adat Istiadat Sarawak, Administration Unit, Immigration and Labour Management Unit, or ILMU, Sarawak Security and Enforcement Unit, SSEU, Human Resource Development Management Unit, HRDMU, and Sarawak Implementation Monitoring Unit, or SIMU. Firstly, I begin with matters relating to the Native Courts of Sarawak. The Native Court institution remains an important mechanism in safeguarding native custom, traditions, and social harmony among the various native communities in Sarawak. The government remains committed towards strengthening this institution so that it continues to serve the rakyat effectively, fairly, and efficiently. Amendment to Native Code Ordinance 1992. With regard to the proposed amendment to the Native Codes Ordinance 1992, I wish to inform this August House that the draft amendments are undergoing comprehensive review. The government is undertaking a thorough and careful review to ensure that the proposed changes are comprehensive, practical, and responsive to the evolving needs and challenges faced by the native court system. Until such time that the amendments are finalized and enforced, the native courts will continue to operate within the existing legal framework. Dato' Mas Speaker, despite the limited number of magistrates presiding at the district native courts and resident native courts, the native courts continue to work diligently and responsibly in addressing the increasing number of cases registered throughout the state. To address this limitation, various proactive measures and strategies have been implemented to improve its administration and facilitate the effective management of court cases, including new approaches to capacity building program for Ketua Masyarakat and Ketua Kaum, court peons, court clerk in targeted district where outstanding court cases are relatively high. These programs are aimed to strengthening the understanding of court procedures, practical exposures, and guidance, improving coordination between the Chief Registrar Office, court clerk, court peons, and community leaders. Since 2025, the Native Courts of Sarawak has successfully organized 7 capacity building programs in Kapit, Sibu, Serike, Bentulu, Meri, Seri Aman, and Kuching Serian Division. These programs involve a total of 329 participants, including comprising of 147 Ketua Masyarakat, 87 Ketua Kaum, 15 Pegawai Takbir, 38 court clerks, and 42 court peons in the respective district office. Particular emphasis is given toward improving the knowledge and technical skill of court clerk and court peon and management of court records and case administration, especially in relation to the usage of the native court system. Dato' Mas Speaker, in addition to capacity building program, the native court have also organized several district level engagement session OCC libat urus bersama Ketua Masyarakat dan Ketua Kaum and sisi pemantapan bagi pegawai pengetua di peringkat Chiefs Court. This was aimed at providing hands-on guidance, close engagement and support to officers together with the Ketua Masyarakat and the Ketua Kaum at selected district. Since 2025, 10 engagement sessions have been successfully organized in Mulu, Siburan, Serian, Kapit, Merudik, Berio, Sibu, Selangau, Limbang, and Dangan Medamit, involving a total of 172 participants. Dato' Mas Speaker, I'm pleased to report that as of April this year, out of total 18,799 registered court cases involving breaches of adat, several cases, application to identified as native of Sarawak, and appeal cases registered since 1992 that involve all levels of courts throughout Sarawak. 14,505 cases, or 77%, had been settled. The native courts is making every effort to ensure that the remaining cases are resolved promptly and efficiently. This shows the effectiveness of the continuous effort undertaken by the native courts and reflect the growing capability of our community leaders and court personnel in managing dispute more effectively. Dato' Mas Speaker, the government will continue to strengthen the native courts institution throughout continuous engagement, training and administrative improvement so that it continues to serve the people effectively, credible and responsive to the needs of the rakyat. Dato' Mas Speaker, now I touch on Majlis Adat Istiadat Sarawak. Preservation, development and dissemination of adat. For the information with this August House, the Majlis Adat Istiadat Sarawak has consistently undertaken effort to preserve, develop and disseminate adat in line with its statutory rules and function. And carrying out this mandate, Majlis Adat Istiadat Sarawak has also embarked on the modernization of adat. This is necessary as many traditional adat originated from ancient belief, custom, practices, and spiritual rules, and are therefore not always fully suited to regulating present-day social relationship and community affairs. The modernization of adat focuses on three key approaches, namely reinterpretation, enhancement, and the making of the new provisions. This involves examining the purpose and underlying rationale of traditional adat from a contemporary perspective, improving existing practices, and to mediate enhancements or negative impact arising from the application and making new provision to fill the gap in adat. Review of adat. Dato' Mas Speaker, now I would like to report on the progress on the review of adat. Currently, the review exercise of Adat Iban 1993, Adat Badayuh 1994, and the Adat Kayan Kenya 1994 are at the final draft. In this regard, the Adat Kayan Kenya 1994 has been split and reviewed separately. With regard to the Adat Iban, the draft of Adat Iban has been verified by all the Temenggong and of Iban community on 27 February 2026 in Cebu. Meanwhile, for Adat Badayuh, the draft has been endorsed by the community leaders of the Badayuh community on 30th 30th April 2026 in SIARAN. And similarly, for the Adat Kayan and Adat Kenya and Adat Kayan, the draft have been also endorsed by the respective community leaders on 15 April 2026 and 16 April 2026, respectively in Miri. I'm proud to announce finally the draft of Adat Iban, Adat Badayu, Adat Kayan, Adat Kenya have been endorsed by members during the Mesyuarat Ali Majlis Adat State Sarawak on 6 May 2026. The draft are now ready to be submitted to the State Attorney General's Chamber for review. To provide better understanding of the Adat to prisoners, enthusiasts, and readers, Majlis Adat State Sarawak is also working on writing the explanatory notes for the Adat under review. In addition, Majlis Adat State Sarawak is also undertaking preliminary work on the codification of Adat Punan. The first workshop on the Adat held on 22nd and 23rd April 2026 in Bintulu marked an important step toward the documentation and preservation of the Adat and the tradition of the Punan community in Sarawak. Not Penan, this is Punan. The workshop brought together community leaders, representatives of Punan National Association, and officers from the District Office of Belaga, Sabah, and Tatau to deliberate on the foundational principles of Adat Punan, including customary governance and traditional practices that continue to be observed today. This codification effort is essential to ensure that the rich customs and culture of the Punan community is systematically preserved and remain relevant to contemporary needs, while further strengthening the recognition of Sarawak's diverse native custom and cultural heritage. Majlis Adat Istiadat Sarawak has also participated in awareness program involving community leaders conducted by district officers and community leaders association from Tatau, Pakan, Muka, Selangau, and Suai Semalaju district in the first quarter of 2026. Dato' Mas Speaker, culture and tradition. Adat is deemed to include tradition and cultures of the natives. In accordance with the Majlis Adat Sarawak, Majlis Adat Istiadat Ordinance 1997, one of its functions is to explain and promote better understanding and appreciation of Adat cultures, traditions, and the history of various native communities in Sarawak. In this regard, Majlis Adat Istiadat Sarawak has established Cultures and Tradition and History section this year to fulfill the mandate. Towards this end, various preliminary engagements have been conducted involving several native community leaders in the state. Dato' Mas Speaker, Digital Initiative. I wish to take this opportunity to report on the progress of digital transformation effort currently being undertaken by the Majlis Adat Sarawak under the 13th Malaysia Plan. The Majlis Adat Istiadat Sarawak is presently undertaking two ICT enhancement projects, namely the Native Marriage Electronic System version 2 and the Cataloging of Oral Tradition System version 2. These projects are aimed at strengthening Majlis Adat Istiadat Sarawak's capacity in preserving the Adat cultures and tradition of the native communities of Sarawak. For the Native Marriage Electronic System version 2, the most significant enhancement is Adat marriage and divorce certificate to be accessible online to individuals concerned. With this initiative, the public will have convenient digital access to their adat parish and divorce record in their Sarawak Pass profile. In cataloging our oral tradition system version 2 will focus on improving the data management and documentation of adat. This project is undertaken to preserve endangered oral tradition, customary knowledge and culture in digital form, and to strengthen the systematic documentation and centralized management of adat-related knowledge. Dato' Mas Speaker, a revision on allowance and other benefit of members of the Majlis for 2026 to 29. Members of the Majlis contribute significantly to the preservation, development and dissemination of adat of the native in Sarawak. As such, the Sarawak government has taken the initiative in reviewing the allowance of other benefit of members of the Majlis. This ensures the members also enjoy fair compensation in performing their official duties. Since 2013, this allowance has remained unchanged. Thus, with the approval of Majlis Mesyuarat Negeri on 16 April 2026, the monthly allowance of members of the Majlis has been revised to 1,000 ringgit Malaysia, representing an increment of 500 ringgit Malaysia from the current rate of 500 ringgit Malaysia. Members of Majlis are also entitled to a meeting allowance of 1 ringgit Malaysia per meeting to a maximum of 400 ringgit annually. In addition, members of the Majlis are also eligible for medical benefit equivalents to the entitlement under existing medical benefit scheme applicable to community leaders that are currently enforced. On top of that, members of the Majlis are also provided with formal attire, which consists of a pair of long suit with entitlement of 1,000 Malaysia ringgit and 200 Malaysia ringgit for the corporate shirt within the 3-year period of their appointment. Now, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the Right Honourable Premier of Sarawak for the approval of the revision of the allowance and the benefits of members of the Majlis. Dato' Mas Speaker, now I touch on unit pentadbiran. Pelantikan Ketua Masyarakat dan Ketua Kaum atau KMKK. Kerajaan sentiasa mengiktiraf peranan KMKK sebagai tunjang utama pentadbiran di peringkat akar umbi dalam memastikan penyampaian perkhidmatan, pelaksanaan dasar serta inisiatif kerajaan dapat dilaksanakan dengan lancar, berkesan dan menyeluruh kepada rakyat. Dalam mendampingi perkembangan semasa serta keperluan masyarakat yang semakin dinamik, kerajaan menyedari bahawa tanggungjawab yang digalas oleh ketua masyarakat, ketua kaum pada hari ini semakin kompleks dan mencabar. Maka sehubung dengan itu, kerajaan terus komited mengambil pelbagai langkah bagi memperkukuhkan institusi KMKK agar kekal relevan, berdaya saing dan mampu memenuhi kehendak masyarakat masa kini. Antaranya termasuk penambahbaikan dari aspek kebajikan apabila kerajaan telah bersetuju untuk menaikkan kadar gaji dan allowance bulanan KMKK sebanyak RM400 Malaysia sebulan berkuasa bulan Januari lepas tahun 2026 ini. Jadi untuk menjawab isu yang dibangkitkan oleh Ahli Berhormat Bagi Ngemah, kerajaan mengambil maklum berkaitan isu pentadbiran sesebuah rumah panjang yang mempunyai lebih daripada 60 buah pintu. Walau bagaimanapun, kerajaan pada masa kini masih mengekalkan polisi yang sedia ada. Untuk makluman, kerajaan juga turut melaksanakan pelbagai inisiatif bagi memantapkan pentadbiran dan pengurusan KMKK. Antaranya adalah menyediakan buku panduan ketua kaum di mana sebanyak 7,879 naskah telah diedarkan kepada semua KMKK serta pejabat-pejabat kerajaan dan agensi-agensi yang berkaitan dalam pelaksanaan transformasi pendigitalan sistem pengurusan KMKK. Kerajaan sentiasa komited melaksanakan pelbagai latihan khusus dan bengkel bagi memperkasakan kepimpinan KMKK dan JKKK. Pewujudan jawatan baharu KMKK, Ketua Masyarakat dan Ketua Kaum. Untuk menjawab isu pewujudan jawatan baru KMKK yang telah dibangkitkan oleh ahli-ahli yang berhormat bagi Ngemah, Kabong, Baleh dan Beting Baru, kerajaan setakat ini telah menerima sebanyak 1,057 permohonan cadangan pewujudan jawatan baru KMKK dari seluruh Sarawak. Kesemua permohonan ini tersebut sedang dikaji dan diteliti. Lesen dan permit carry and use senapang patah individu. Untuk menjawab isu yang dibangkit oleh Yang Berhormat Bagi Ngemah berkenaan dengan cadang pertukaran nama pemilik senapang patah selain daripada ibu bapa kepada anak lelaki atau anak perempuan, dan memberi kelonggaran untuk permit carry and use senapang patah bagi individu, kerajaan masih mengekalkan polisi yang sedia ada juga. Persempadan semula pusat pentadbiran di Sarawak. Untuk menjawab cadangan yang diusulkan oleh Yang Berhormat dari Bagi Murung, Belengian dan Bakalalan berhubung dengan cadangan menaik taraf darah kecil Sungai Asap kepada darah Apau Kuyan, menaik taraf darah kecil Belengian kepada darah penuh, dan cadangan menaikkan taraf darah lawas kepada bagian. Cadangan-cadangan tersebut sedang dikaji dan diteliti. Pejabat darah kecil Kelili. Untuk makluman, ahli Yang Berhormat Bagi Kelili, tapak projek bagi cadangan membina pejabat darah kecil Kelili yang baru telah diluluskan oleh Majlis Perancangan Negeri pada 5 Mac 2026. Projek tersebut kini dalam peringkat reka bentuk. Status of the new legislation seats in Sarawak. I wish to thank the Honourable Member Futamin for raising this matter concerning the status of the proposed additional electoral seats in Sarawak. For the information, Honourable Member Futamin, the delineation and the review of the electoral boundaries fell within the jurisdiction of the Election Commission under the Federal Constitution. Hence, the timeline of the exercise is subject to the constitutional progress and the timeline determined by the Election Commission. In this regard, the government has consistently conveyed its position and aspiration to the federal government on the importance of expediting the leader nation exercise for Sarawak, including through the MA63 discussion platform under the Majlis Tindakan Pelaksanaan Perjanjian Malaysia 1963 atau MA63, which is chaired by Yang Amat Berhormat the Prime Minister. The government remains hopeful that the delineation exercise can be implemented in due course, taking into account the need and fair and effective representative for the rakyat of Sarawak, particularly those in the rural areas of the state. This is important to ensure that Sarawak representation remains in line with the state's geographical realities, population distribution, and development needs. Dato' Mas Speaker, I now proceed on matters concerning Immigration and Labour Management Unit atau ILMU. The progress update on the FWTA project. I have constantly updated this August House on the implementation of Foreign Worker Transformation Approach atau FWTA project since its inception in 2023. Today, I am pleased to provide further progress updates, specifically regarding the official launch of the Job Sarawak. On 10th May 2026, sir, during the state level Labor Day celebration, Yang Amat Berhormat the Premier Sarawak officially launched Job Sarawak before over 2,000 attendees. As the official integrated talent hub of the Sarawak government, Job Sarawak serves as a centralized digital platform to connect local talent, employers, and the workforce to the diverse job opportunities across the state. I'm proud to report that since it rolled out on the 15th February 2025, a total of 21,000 job seekers have registered on the platform, with more than 18,000 active vacancies currently available. This milestone underscores our commitment to empowering the Sarawakian workforce through technology-enabled solutions, streamlining the job search progress, and ensuring access to qualified employment. Dato' Mas Speaker, stakeholder engagement and strategic integration. Since 2023, the government, through ILMU, has conducted 16 industry update sessions across Sarawak in collaboration with the Labour Department of Sarawak, the Immigration Department, the Department of Health, PKSU, and other strategic partners. This has been complemented by extensive stakeholder engagement throughout 2024 until 2026. These efforts are aimed at ensuring that industry players have the necessary system, processes, and regulatory understanding to facilitate effective compliance and implementation of the FWTA system. Since the implementation of FWTA in 2025, 6 outreach services have been conducted throughout the main divisions in Sarawak, such as Cebu, Miri, and Bentulu, whereby mobile service team went to remote to work locations to provide services to industry players and foreign workers at their work location. Other significant milestone of the FWTA system include successful integration with the Immigration Department and the Malaysia MYM's system and the Perkesos My Future Jobs platform. Looking ahead, collaboration also being finalized with other federal department and agency as well as other Sarawak on application. Dato' Mas Speaker, I would like to address the concern raised by Yang Berhormat Prof. Pending on her address speech on the 13th May 2026 regarding the fees associated with hiring foreign workers through the FWTA system. The public-private partnership or PPP model. The FWTA's project is implemented through the public-private partnership model under which all capital development and operation cost for the project ecosystem is fully financed by the private sector. By pairing government oversight with private sector innovation, the government aims to deliver world-class services throughout straining public finances. This model ensures specialized knowledge transfer, keeping our public services resilient and secure, thereby playing a pivotal role in advancing Sarawak's digital transformation agenda. Additionally, the FWTA initiative demonstrates the strength of this model through its cost neutral structure. Revenue generated through the use of the platform is reinvested into critical infrastructure such as immigration and labor integrated centers. Your customers said, and cybersecurity system, funding essential capital expenditure without burdening taxpayers. The user pay principle. The fees of Ringgit Malaysia 1,854 or equivalent and 2,102.32 cents inclusive of SST, which is imposed based on a user pay model, has undergone due diligence by the relevant state agencies and approved by the state authority. This principle ensures that industries benefiting from foreign labor bear the ecosystem and regulatory oversight cost, rather than shifting the financial burden into the general taxpayer. Consistent payment structure. The payment structure is consistent with both regional and international practices. For instance, the Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation, or MDEC, imposes a non-refundable processing fee of 2,160 ringgit Malaysia for each Malaysia digital expansion application. In the United Arab Emirates, the application and the process fee, work permit and visas are payable as part of the issuance process, with a total cost typically ranging from approximately 3,000 to 8,000 Arab Emirate money, or which is equivalent to our money, which is Ringgit Malaysia 3,200 to 8,500 Malaysian ringgit. In comparison, the fees imposed under the FWTA framework are relatively modest and lower than those charged by other comparable entities and jurisdictions. Comprehensive service delivery. It must be emphasized that this fee is not merely a processing fee for documents such as the approval of principal or IP, an approval letter, labor license or visa with friends or VDR. Rather, it costs the end-to-end processing costs, which include 1. Developing the maintenance and the statewide infrastructure and the infrastructure required for service delivery. 2. Ensuring a transparent, streamlined and seamless digital workflow across multiple state and federal agencies. And 3, providing the state government with critical real-time data on workforce supply and demand essential for strategic policy decision. Dato' Mas Speaker, Bill Plus Sdn Bhd. Bill Plus Sdn Bhd, one of the several independent payment gateway providers utilized by the FWTA project, delivers secure, well-maintained services with robust cybersecurity to protect Sarawakian data, while generating clear audit trails and strengthening transparency. This is a significant improvement over manual or so-called free system that often lack accountability. Dato' Mas Speaker, All third parties appointed to assess in the implementation of the FWTA project including FWTA Senator Berhad, were appointed strictly in accordance with established procurement procedures and remain subject to audit and oversight by the relevant government authorities. I trust this explanation provides necessary clarification on the Fatwa project, FWTA project. These measures reflect the Sarawak government's steadfast commitment to transparency, accountability, and good government. Through clear procedures, structured oversight mechanism, and continuous regulatory security, the state ensures that all processes from fee imposition and system implementation to third-party appointment are conducted in an open and responsible manner in compliance with established rules and procedures. This commitment underscores the government's dedication upholding trust while delivering efficient and integrity-driven public service delivery, and not in the manner as accurately suggested by the Yang Rahmat Pupending. Now I come to security, Sarawak Security and Enforcement Unit atau SSEU. Dato' Mas Speaker, I will now proceed with the matters relating to the Sarawak Security and Enforcement Unit. The Sarawak Security and Enforcement Unit plays a highly significant role as a key agency of the Sarawak government in strengthening state security and implementing law enforcement
Honourable
in a
Minister,
comprehensive and integrated manner.
do you
No,
point
I have to finish my speech. Sorry. No, I don't give you. Cooperation with other agencies. SSEU. No, I don't give. Thank you. SSEU continue to play a vital role in strengthening enforcement efforts and safeguarding the interests of the Sarawak government through a series of integrated operations conducted in close collaboration with relevant agencies. Since November 2025, SSEU successfully carried out several key operations across the state. This includes...
He's not giving way.
I don't give way. This includes OP Osparadu, LPG 3. You can talk later on when I finish. In Lawas, conducted in collaboration with the Sarawak Ministry.
Okay.
No, I don't give way.
Honourable Minister, you wait.
Yeah.
Did you raise this in your speech? Did you raise it? Are you taking it?
No.
Okay,
No, take it.
that's it.
No, I don't want to give way. Stop.
Don't obstruct.
In November 2025, SSEU successfully carried out several key operations across the state. This include OP Padu LPG 3/2025 in Lawas, conducted in collaboration with the Sarawak Ministry of Utility and Telecommunication, as well as Community Credit Service Premises Monitoring Enforcement Operation Phase 1/2026 in Kuching. SSEU also implemented OP LPG 1/2026 in Lawas and OPS Blocos 5/2025 in Batu Belad and Tanjung Baku. In addition, SSEU is working closely together with the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living KPDN in carrying out of Tiris Baspadu 4.0, an operation aimed at combating misappropriation and smuggling of controlled goods. 2 investigation papers were opened by KPDN involving offences related to licensing requirement for lorry tankers and storage of controlled goods in an unlicensed warehouse. The operation also led to the seizure of various items worth 242 Malaysian ringgit. 242,000 Malaysian ringgit. Moving forward, SSEU remain committed in strengthening strategic cooperation with all enforcement agencies to ensure that enforcement efforts continue to be proactive, coordinated, and effective in addressing current and future challenges. Enhancing and strengthening the security of Sarawak Maritime. The Sarawak government continues to strengthen the security of Sarawak Maritime through the progressive enhancement of the Sarawak Coast Guard. The Sarawak Coast Guard has been conducting obspukat on continuous basis to combat illegal fishing activities, incursion and violation of maritime laws that may threaten fisheries resources and sovereignty of Sarawak. Since 2025, a total of 107 obspukat was successfully carried out. Currently, Sarawak Coast Guard operate a fleet of 12 patrol assets to support maritime security enforcement operations across Sarawak waters. To further enhance the agency operation capability, 3 new advanced 40-meter betting class patrol vessels capable of expanding patrol coverage to strategic maritime areas, including locational shoals, is scheduled to be commissioned by the Right Honourable Premier of Sarawak this year. Dato' Mas Speaker, strengthening border security via security and community involvement. The state is bolstering its front line through extensive community involvement with the establishment of Immune Belt Enforcement Team atau IBET with a total of 480 volunteers. The IBET team together with IBET volunteers spearhead a rabies eradication operation and also gather information along border areas to support food safety in Sarawak. The food safety section of the SSEU continue to play an important role in safeguarding public health, ensuring food safety across Sarawak through close coordination with the Department of Agriculture Sarawak and the Ministry of Health Malaysia. Since January 2025, a total of 121 water samples were collected from Kuching, Bau, Sibu, Lobok Antu, Limbang and Lawas. Meanwhile, 119 food supplies were obtained from Sibu, Serikin, Lobok Antu, Limbang and Lawas. Markas UKPS project update. For the information of this August House, under the 13th Malaysia Plan, Sarawak government has identified 5 markas UKPS to be developed across Sarawak, reflecting our firm and unwavering commitment in strengthening maritime security and enforcement capability throughout the state. Markas UKPS project in Lawas is in implementation stage worth Ringgit Malaysia 73.47 million and expected to be completed by 2028. The development of Markas UKPS Lawas will play a vital role in strengthening security within the northern region of Sarawak, particularly enhancing surveillance capabilities, reinforcing enforcement presence, and improving overall operational readiness in Sarawak. Meanwhile, the other 4 markers UKPS, which are located in Kuching, Miri, Tanjung Manis, and Bintulu, are still in various planning stage. Human Resource Development and Management Unit atau HRDMU. Dato' Mas Speaker, I now proceed with matters relating to the Human Resource Development and Management Unit. Untuk menjawab ahli yang dibangkitkan oleh untuk menjawab isu yang dibangkitkan oleh Ahli Yang Berhormat Bagi Kelili berhubung dengan pelantikan pegawai takbir di Pejabat Daerah Kelili, arahan pertukaran tempat bertugas secara dalaman seorang pegawai takbir N10 telah dikeluarkan pada 12 April 2029 untuk mengisi kekosongan jawatan di Pejabat Daerah Kecil Kelili. Kekurangan staf teknikal. Untuk menjawab isu yang dibangkitkan oleh Ahli Berhormat Bagi Bukit Semuja berhubung kekurangan kekitangan teknikal di agensi pelaksanaan bagi pengendalian projek, kerajaan telah meluluskan 556 jawatan teknikal berasaskan caruman atau JBC pada tahun 2018 dan 2020 bagi seluruh pentadbiran Sarawak. Pada tahun 2024, kerajaan seterusnya telah meluluskan 319 jawatan teknikal bagi Jabatan Kerja Raya Sarawak. Kerajaan prihatin dengan pembangunan pesat dan penambahan projek. Oleh itu, kerajaan sedang melaksanakan kajian semula keperluan pejawatan termasuk jawatan teknikal di semua peringkat kementerian, jabatan dan agensi bagi memastikan semua tenaga kerja dapat dioptimumkan secara lebih strategik. Now, I proceed with matters relating to the Sarawak Implementation Monitoring Unit atau SIMU. In response to the issues raised by Honourable Member for Talian regarding the delays and failures of contractors in completing RTP projects, the government views this matter with utmost seriousness by enforcing the following measures. 1. Strict action against companies and individual owners. To enforce strict accountability, any contract termination due to contractor fails result in a 3-year cancellation of the company's registration. Furthermore, the board of directors and equity owners will be personalized blacklisted for 3 to 5 years. It is ensured that they remain ineligible to apply for new registration or be associated with any other firm seeking government project in related field during the punishment period. Monitoring via contractors and consultant registration and rating system atau KORIS. To ensure early detection of project delays, the government utilized the KORIS system to formally record any project categorized as critically delayed due to the contractor or consultant fault. Consequently, the responsible company is completely barred from making any registration-related application to the entire duration of the critical delay. Number 3, regarding the call for the review RTP SOP, the government is committed to continuous improvement in project planning and monitoring to enhance delivery effectiveness while ensuring that many termination of non-compliant contractors strictly adheres to contractual due progress to prevent any risk of wrongful termination and maintain full legal compliance. Conclusion. Dr. Mas Speaker, I wish to thank Dr. Mas Speaker, Deputy Speaker, State Secretary, State Attorney General, State Financial Secretary, Federal Secretary, Deputy Ministers in the Department of the Premier's Department, all head of the department and all their own staff for the decorum and the smooth running of this sitting. I also would like to wish Ali Abrahman, all the state and federal officers and other people of Sarawak selamat Hari Guru yang baru telah kita adakan beberapa hari lepas. Selamat Hari Raya Adha, the coming one, and the Hari Wesak, and a very happy Gawai Dayak to all the Dayak, Gayu Guru, Gerai Nyamai Lantang Senang, Ngan Menua. Tuan Speaker, I beg to support the motion of thanks on Tuan Yang Terutama Yang di-Pertuan Negeri Sarawak, opening address of the first meeting, the fifth session of this 19th Sarawak Legislative Assembly sitting. Untuk hari ucapan saya ini, saya dah 2 rangkap pantun saja. Ini 211 ini banyak tadi. Hari Raya, Hari Wesak, bagi kita jasa ditabur. Mari bersama rakyat Sarawak membina negeri maju dan makmur. Buah labu, buah tekai, sama serupa, sama gaya. Sambut 1 hari bulan 6 kita bergawai, sama-sama bergawai, kuati gagal. Terima kasih.
Dengan hormatnya saya menjemput Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Lee Kim Shin, Menteri Pengangkutan, untuk menyampaikan ucapan penggulungan.
Terima kasih Tan Sri Speaker. Selamat petang, salam sejahtera, salam Sarawak maju makmur dan salam segulai sejalan. Terlebih dahulu saya ingin menzahirkan ucapan setinggi-tinggi penghargaan kepada Tuan Yang Terutama Yang di-Pertuan Negeri Sarawak, Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Haji Wan Junaidi Tuan Guru Jaafar, atas ucapan pembukaan Mesyuarat Pertama Bagi Penggal Kelima Dewan Undangan Negeri Sarawak ke-19 yang penuh aspirasi, berpandangan jauh dan berwawasan. Tuan Yang Terutama Tun Pehin Sri juga amat prihatin terhadap perkembangan ekonomi Sarawak, pembangunan tenaga hijau serta kesejahteraan rakyat dalam menepani pelbagai cabaran semasa dan konflik geopolitik. Saya juga ingin mengambil kesempatan ini untuk mengucapkan tahniah kepada Tuan Yang Utama Tun Pehin Sri di atas penganugerahan ijazah terhormat Dr. Pengurusan Universiti Tun Abdul Razak sempena Istiadat Convocation Uni Razak ke-24 pada 13 Disember 2025 yang lalu. Setinggi-tinggi tahniah juga saya ucapkan kepada Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Panggitan Sri Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rahman Johari bin Tun Datuk Abang Haji Openg, Premier Sarawak, di atas pelantikan semula sebagai Pro-Chancellor Universiti Malaysia Sarawak pada 15 Mac 2026 lepas. Tan Sri Speaker, this August House has successfully passed 4 bills, namely 1. Supplementary Supply 2025 Bill 2026, 2. Supplementary Supply Bill 2026 Bill 2026, 3. Serap Paddy and Rice Board Bill 2026, and 4thly, Perbadanan Penggunaan Ekonomi Sarawak Amendment Bill 2026. I would like to congratulate the respective honourable ministers for successfully tabling the bills, which have received strong support from all members. Tan Sri Speaker, I would now like to touch on global direction for transport and national targets. The global transport sector is entering a period of structural transition driven by 3 major forces, namely energy security, climate commitments, and geopolitical factors. Currently, the sector remains heavily dependent on fossil fuels, making it vulnerable to disruptions arising from the Middle East conflict. The International Energy Agency has highlighted that disruptions to oil and gas flows through the Strait of Hormuz carry major implications for energy security, affordability, and the wider economy. This shift has reinforced the strategic need for countries to diversify energy sources and reduce exposure to conventional fuel markets, thereby building greater resilience and insulating the economy and the people from the price shocks of a volatile global oil market. As part of this diversification strategy, the hydrogen-based land transport is transitioning from pilot stages into commercial scale deployment, particularly in segments such as long-haul trucking, rail, and high-capacity public transit. Major economies such as Japan, South Korea, China, and Germany are investing heavily in refueling infrastructure and fuel cell technology. This growing momentum shows that hydrogen is becoming a practical solution for cleaner transport and provides a useful reference for Sarawak's own efforts. Malaysia is aligning with global hydrogen transport developments through pilot initiatives by the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation and Nano Malaysia to explore sustainable and alternative energy solutions for public transport. This includes a Prasarana pilot program involving retrofitting existing diesel buses into hydrogen fuel cell buses. Currently, these retrofitted buses are undergoing operational testing in Putrajaya to evaluate the performance, operational suitability, and commercial viability of zero-emission technologies while supporting efforts to modernize public transport and advance future decarbonization goals. Subsequently, the Selangor State Government also announced on 12 May 2026 a pilot project aligned with its vision to integrate green technology into the smart Selangor bus service. The project includes a 12-meter hydrogen-powered bus, electrolyzers and refueling system with operations expected to commence by the end of the year. This development reflects the growing interest in hydrogen and alternative fuel technologies for public transport among states in Malaysia since 2023. 5 states, namely Selangor, Penang, Johor, Perak, and Melaka, have visited Sarawak's ART vehicles as part of their exposures to such technologies and systems. The delegations were led by YB Nzihan, the Exco Selangor for Investment, Trade and Mobility, YAB Chow Kon Chew, Chief Minister of Penang, YB Engineer Technologist Muhammad Fazil, Muhammad Saleh, Chairman of the Johor State Public Works, Transportation, Infrastructure and Communications Committee, YB Lo Tzu Yi, Exco Perak for Tourism, Industry, Investment and Corridor Development, YB Datuk Sri Engineer Muhammad Nizar Jamaluddin, Chairman of the Perak State Infrastructure, Energy, Water and Public Transportation Committee, and also Madam Noreda Binti Abdul Rani, Director of the Southern Zone Project Office, Town and Country Planning Department, Ministry of Housing and Local Government, leading the delegation from Melaka. Furthermore, as announced on 17 May 2026 by Transport Minister of Malaysia, YB Anthony Loh, the federal government's plan to strengthen Johor transport connectivity includes the proposed automatic rapid transit, as ART system in Johor Bahru. The project, estimated at more than 10 billion ringgit Malaysia, is intended to support the Johor Bahru Singapore RTS link service and is expected to involve 32 stations spanning over 50 kilometers. Implementation details are currently being finalized. Similarly, in the maritime sector, the International Maritime Organization continues to promote the transition towards cleaner maritime alternative fuels as part of its target to achieve net zero greenhouse gas emission from international shipping by or around 2050, with zero or near zero emission fuels expected to contribute at least 5% to 10% of global shipping energy use by 2030. For aviation, sustainable aviation fuel, SAF, has become the solution for aviation decarbonization. The International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, has adopted a long-term global aspirational goal for international aviation to achieve net zero carbon emissions by 2050. The direction for global aviation is clear. The sector must maintain connectivity and economic growth while progressively reducing reliance on fossil fuels. For Malaysia, the opportunity lies not only in compliance with global aviation climate requirements, but also in positioning itself as a regional contributor to SAF production, green fuel supply chains, and sustainable transport development. Tan Sri Speaker, I will now move to Sarawak transport sector. Sarawak is not merely observing this global shift, but is proactively spearheading its own infrastructure transition and participating in the global energy shift. By pioneering research and development in the region and investing in green technologies such as hydrogen, Sarawak is establishing itself as a regional hub for sustainable energy and transport innovation. This strategic advancement ensures that Sarawak remains at the forefront of the green economy, translating global volatility into local economic resilience for the benefit of all Sarawakians. Mr. Speaker, the Kuching Urban Transport Station System. First and foremost, I would like to inform this August House of an important development relating to the KUTS project. Pursuant to the decision of the Majlis Mesyuarat Kerajaan Negeri (MMKN) in October 2025, it has been approved that the development of the Rumbus hydrogen production plant be incorporated under the scope of the KUTS project. Under this arrangement, Sarawak Metro Sdn Bhd will conduct in-house production of the hydrogen supply for KUTS. Mr. Speaker, following a technical and budgetary review, the alignment for the red line along Tun Razak to Pending has been redesigned to a fully elevated structure to enhance operational efficiency and long-term network reliability. At the same time, the Green Line scope has been refined with the autonomous rapid transit ART lane to cover the Pending Yayasan Sarawak stretch and the hydrogen feeder buses supporting the KUTS network from Yayasan Sarawak to Damai Central. The tender documentation for the Green Line package is being finalized for advertisement in Q2 2026 with targeted commencement of construction in Q4 2026 and overall completion of the KUTS project by Q3 2030. Mr. Speaker, as of 30th April 2026, the overall physical progress of the Kuching Urban Transportation System Phase 1 project stands at approximately 38.2% against a planned progress of 44.8%. This variance is primarily attributable to several interrelated factors, including contractor performance issues, the refinement and redesign of certain project alignments, particularly along the red line, as well as the scale and complexity of underground utilities relocation work. Mr. Speaker, allow me to share the upcoming milestone for the KUTS project. The pilot operation of KUTS is scheduled to commence in Q4 this year. The pilot route will operate from Rumbus Depot, Samarahan, and fully optimized before public rollout. I am also pleased to inform this August House that the final acceptance inspection of the ART units have been conducted successfully and the units have met the required technical and operational standards. This year, Sarawak is expected to receive 4 ART units and 10 hydrogen feeder buses to support the pilot operations. Mr. Speaker, the smart buses in Miri covering 8 routes received strong public support, recording more than 1.3 million passengers as of 30th April 2026 since its commencement in October 2024, demonstrating that the government's effort to improve public transport are delivering meaningful results. In addition, my ministry has also conducted the Miri Smart Bus Awareness and Ride Experience sessions for students across Miri to promote greater public understanding, encourage early adoption of public transport usage, and promote independent mobility utilizing the Sarawak Smart Transport Application, SSTA. The SSTA enables commuters to to plan their journey, assess real-time bus tracking and route information conveniently. It also provides a platform for my ministry to carry out evidence-based policy making such as route planning, scheduling and continuous service improvement. As announced during the Right Honourable Premier 2026 budget speech, my ministry under the 13 Malaysia Plan will continue the initiative to replace aging stage buses throughout Sarawak while also enhancing the public transport system through subsidies for stage bus operators' operational and management costs to ensure the continuity of services. Additionally, following the successful rollout of MiriSmart buses and with priority given to major urban centres, the next phase of implementation for modernizing stage buses will be in Cebu. The tender for the Sarawak new stage bus service as SBS Cebu was advertised on 30th of April 2026 and is scheduled to close on 20th of May 2026. The project is expected to be awarded in the third quarter of 2026. The Stage Bus Service Transformation, SBST, also known as the Bus.my, implemented under the federal government in collaboration with my ministry, continues to roll out 6 new bus routes to Arang Road, Huising Garden, Siboran, Sambarahan, Sutong, Baru, Kuching Central and Taman Sukma, while Matang Jaya, King Center and Bako routes were discontinued effective 1st of April 2026 due to low ridership. The introduction of these new routes marks a significant step in enhancing public transport connectivity in Kuching. The 56 new stage buses operating across 13 routes since their commencement in March 2025 have carried over 847,644 passengers as of April 2026 and are supported by the BAS.my Journey Planner application. As of 30th April 2026, a total of 1,346 by-bus 30 transit passes and 15,284 concession cards have been issued to commuters, including students, senior citizens, and persons with disabilities under this program. Mr. Speaker, according to the Road Transport Department, JPJ, Sarawak has recorded a cumulative total of 2,049,072 registered vehicles. As the number of private vehicles registrations continue to increase each year, road networks are experiencing higher traffic volumes, particularly during peak hours and festive season. Therefore, traffic management plays a crucial role in ensuring smoother traffic flow, optimizing the use of existing infrastructure, and enhancing overall mobility for road users. With regard to the implementation of smart traffic lights in Sarawak, my ministry is working closely with the Public Works Department Sarawak and local councils to ensure that existing traffic light systems are progressively upgraded to smart traffic management system, while also providing traffic lights at accident-prone junctions to enhance road safety and traffic efficiency. As of 30th April 2026, 190 out of 373 traffic light junctions throughout Sarawak have been successfully upgraded to smart traffic light system. Efforts are currently ongoing to upgrade the remaining 183 junctions towards achieving a fully integrated, connected, and efficient traffic management network across Sarawak. Among the upgraded junctions, Kuching recorded the highest number with 98 junctions, followed by Miri 30, Bintulu 24, Cebu 13, Sambarahan 8, Serike 7, Syrian 4, Muka 3, Kapit 2, and Limbang 1. Mr. Speaker, ensuring road safety requires a shared commitment from all road users. According to the Royal Malaysia Police, PDRM, Sarawak recorded 7,545 road accidents in 26 up to April. Of these, 90 were minor, 45 were serious, 128 were fatal accidents, and the remaining 7,282 accidents only involved damage to vehicles. A total 128 fatal accidents resulted in 139 fatalities. Meanwhile, 45 serious accidents led to 64 serious injuries, while 90 minor accidents caused 128 minor injuries. This amounted to 331 casualties. The data also indicates that motor cars contributed to more than half of all accidents, followed by four-wheel drive vehicles and motorcycles. According to the Royal Malaysia Police report, a total of 58,992 summonses for major traffic offences were issued between January and April 2026 in Sarawak. The breakdown of the summonses was follows: speeding, 57,842, using mobile phones while driving, 327, running red lights, 255, crossing double lines, 182, and queue cutting, 386. These findings highlighted the urgency in fostering a culture of responsible driving behavior. In response, my ministry continues to collaborate with members of the Sarawak Road Safety Council, including Royal Malaysia Police, the Road Transport Department, JPJ, and Public Works Department, Sarawak, along with other relevant agencies in road safety initiatives such as road safety awareness campaign during festive season along major roads and the Pan-Borneo highways. This year, campaigns were successfully held in Cebu and Miri during Chinese New Year, Miri and Bintulu during Hari Raya Aidilfitri to raise public awareness on road safety. Another 3 campaigns are scheduled to take place in Betong, Samaran, and Rimiri this month in conjunction with the upcoming Hari Gawai Daya. Mr. Speaker, the phased enforcement of mandatory speed limitation devices, SLD, in commercial vehicles by Road Transport Department is currently in its phase 2 of implementation, which from 1st January 2026 until 30th June 2026 involves the activation of SLDs through the Electronic Control Unit for vehicles manufactured before 1st January 2015 under the same categories, including all rebuilt and imported used vehicles. Subsequently, phase 3, beginning on 1st of July 2026, will involve the retrofit installation of SLD devices approved by JPJ for goods and passenger vehicles that fall within the specified categories. This initiative reflects the government's firm commitment towards improving compliance, strengthening vehicle safety standards, and ensuring safer roads for all Malaysians. Aligning with this JPJ initiative under the Perkhidmatan Pemeriksaan Kenderaan Motor (PPKM), policies and requirements have also been introduced in line with the latest technical directive issued. Effective 1st July 2026, the installation of an SLD will be mandatory for all commercial vehicles undergoing both initial and routine inspection. These requirements apply specifically to Category M3 vehicles, including express and private buses exceeding 5,000 kilograms, as well as Category N2 and N3 vehicles, which cover goods vehicles exceeding 3,500 kilograms. Sri Speaker, border crossing improvement. As part of my ministry's continuous effort to enhance border crossing efficiency and alleviate congestion, I am pleased to inform this August House that the upgrading works at the Miri Sungai Tujuh Immigration, Custom, Quarantine and Security Complex was completed on 3rd March 2026, with rectification works for minor defects currently underway. The project involved the addition of 4 new lanes and 8 counters, which will significantly improve traffic flow and reduce bottlenecks at the Miri Sarawak Brunei checkpoint. In addition, the Sri Kin Immigration Post, which is currently under construction and scheduled for completion by the end of 2027, will further enhance cross-border connectivity between Sri Kin, Sarawak, and Kalimantan, Indonesia, facilitating smoother movement of people and goods. Mr. Speaker, performance of the maritime and riverine transport sector. For the first quarter of 2026, the performance of the maritime and riverine transport sector in Sarawak remains stable and continue to support the daily mobility of the rakyat and movement of cargoes, particularly in rural, coastal and riverine areas where water transport remains an essential mode of connectivity and community livelihood. Mr. Speaker, for the first quarter ending 31st March 2026, the Sarawak Rivers Board continued to strengthen riverine safety, regulatory compliance and navigational management throughout Sarawak. During this period, a total of 318 vessels were registered, comprising 13 new applications and 305 vessels river transport permit renewal, which comprises 142 cargo vessels, 109 tugboat and 67 passenger vessels. In enhancing navigational safety, Sarawak River Board maintained and installed 20 units of riverine traffic signages at key locations, including passenger terminals in Serike, Sibu and Kapit, as well as along the Batang Rajang River from Kapit to Pelugus. SRB also continued to strengthen community engagement through 4 river awareness programs involving 470 participants. These programs included Gotong Royong initiatives, basic boat handling training, and life jacket distribution programs. In addition, a total of 10 marine traffic and risk analysis studies were endorsed and are currently being implemented to improve navigational safety, strengthen risk management, and support safer river and maritime operation across Sarawak. From the enforcement aspect, Sarawak Rivers Board conducted 389 river patrols, 589 vessels inspection, 57 enforcement operations, and 35 premises inspection, while issuing 31 compounds to ensure compliance with river regulations and navigational safety standards. For the information of this August House, the Sarawak Rivers Board continues to maintain riverine facilities and wharves throughout Sarawak. As of 31st March 2026, a total of 141,133 passengers have utilized SRB riverine facilities and wharves, reflecting the continued importance of river transport in enhancing connectivity and supporting socio-economic activities, particularly within rural and riverine communities. Mr. Speaker, for information of this August House, as of the first quarter 2026, Sarawak recorded 34,758 aircraft movement, an increase of 7.14%. Passenger movement also increased to 2.8 million passengers, representing a 9.58% growth compared to the corresponding period in 2025. Sarawak also recorded an average of 46 weekly international flights and 533 weekly domestic flights from other Malaysian states. Within Sarawak, an average of 670 weekly flights connected major cities and rural areas under the Rural Air Services. In addition to the Haikau-Kuching route by 9A, Sarawak's international connectivity is further strengthened with the recent launch of the Guangzhou-Kuching direct scheduled charter flight operated by Batak Air starting 18 March 2026, marking another milestone in Sarawak's growing global air network. My ministry will continue to work closely with airlines and partner agencies to attract more direct international routes, further positioning Sarawak as an emerging aviation transit hub in the region. Mr. Speaker, development of Air Borneo. Following the successful completion of the Mars Wing acquisition, Air Borneo commenced operation on 1st January 2026 as Sarawak's own airline, while continuing the responsibility of delivering the rural air services across Sarawak, Sabah, and Labuan. The RAS implemented under the Public Service Obligation Framework plays a vital role in ensuring continued air connectivity for rural and remote communities throughout Sarawak, particularly on routes that are commercially non-viable for airlines. Under this framework, the federal government provides subsidy support for RAS routes, while Air Borneo is entrusted to operate these services based on agreed requirements and regulated airfare structure determined by the federal government. Any changes regarding approved routes, flight frequencies, service reliability, safety and operational performance shall be subject to approval from the federal government. Mr. Speaker, unlike commercial air services, RAS operator is neither a full-service carrier nor a low-cost carrier. Commercial air services are driven by market dynamics, where airfares fluctuate based on demand, competition, fuel prices, and operating costs. While commercial airlines prioritize route profitability and market returns, RAS is anchored on social obligations based on the federal government policy. Concurrently, Air Borneo will progressively expand beyond the public service obligation mandate as a full-service airline, strengthening connectivity with major domestic cities and regional destinations. Subject to regulatory approvals and operational readiness, Air Borneo plans to lease 3 Boeing 737-800 NG aircraft for its maiden scheduled jet services with targeted routes from Kuching to Kuala Lumpur, Kota Kinabalu, Jakarta and Singapore by the third quarter of 2026. As a full-service regional airline in the future, Air Borneo will offer a comprehensive travel experience, including multiple cabin classes, complimentary in-flight services, check-through luggage, lounge access, and seamless international connectivity through code-sharing partnerships and airline alliances, delivering greater comfort, flexibility, and end-to-end convenience. In contrast, low-cost carriers operate on simplified, no-frills services with single-class seating and unbundled pricing where passengers pay separately for additional services such as baggage, meal, seat selection, travel insurance, and other in-flight services. This additional service may, in certain instances, exceed the base air ticket price, particularly for short-haul flights. While low-cost carriers prioritize affordability and service flexibility, full-service carriers emphasize passenger experience, network connectivity, and premium travel offerings. On this note, airfares today are determined through a dynamic pricing mechanism widely used by airlines globally, where ticket prices fluctuate based on booking patterns, market demand, seat availability, travel season, fuel prices, and operational costs. During peak travel periods such as festive season, school holidays, major events, and last-minute booking, airfares naturally increase as lower fare categories are sold out earlier. Hence, the public is encouraged to plan their journeys and purchase air ticket well in advance, particularly during festive season and school holiday periods, in order to secure cheaper airfares. This is further driven by post-pandemic travel demand recovery, limited global aircraft availability due to supply chain and maintenance constraints, higher operational and leasing costs, and rising aviation fuel prices, especially due to the current Middle East crisis. Therefore, many airlines are currently operating under very thin margins or even at a loss. In this regard, the Sarawak government recognizes the concerns of the riot over high airfares. At the same time, we must also acknowledge that the aviation industry is volatile and highly cost-sensitive. Therefore, our approach must be balanced, protecting the interests of passengers while ensuring that the airline services remain operationally and financially sustainable. Mr. Speaker, development of air cargo. I would also like to update this August House on the development at the Kuching International Airport. The renovation works of the Malaysia Airlines mass cargo warehouse at Kuching International Airport have commenced at a cost of approximately 2.5 million ringgit. This upgrading project It's important to improve cargo handling efficiency, storage capacity, operational workflow, and service quality at Kuching International Airport. The enhancement of cargo infrastructure is critical because air cargo continues to play a major role in supporting Sarawak's economy, particularly for import and export of electronics, perishables, pharmaceuticals, e-commerce products, and time-sensitive goods. The Sarawak government welcomes continuous investment into airport cargo facilities as part of our broader strategy to position Kuching as a regional aviation and logistic hub for Borneo and the wider region. The main cargo and freight operators currently supporting air cargo operations at Kuching International Airport include Mas Cargo, Air Asia Cargo, Teleport, Raya Airways, Cargo Express, this MJets, My Indo Airlines, Singkung Airlines, Air Cargo Express, and Ascend Airways Malaysia. Mr. Speaker, development of the proposed new Kuching International Airport. The site verification and feasibility study for the proposed new Kuching International Airport has been successfully completed with Tanjung Embang as the recommended site. The study concludes that the site is operationally and technically feasible while aligning with the PCS 2030 to strengthen Sarawak's connectivity and long-term economic growth. The study has assessed key factors including airspace requirements, land use compatibility, infrastructure connectivity, environmental consideration, as well as passengers and cargo growth potential in support of Sarawak's aspiration to become a regional aviation and logistic hub. Following this, my ministry will support the Airport Development Request, ADR, to the Ministry of Transport Malaysia for development approval. The next phase will focus on land acquisition, site preparation, and detailed design, paving the way for the commencement of physical construction of the new Kuching International Airport. Mr. Speaker, upgrading of Miri Airport. I would also like to record the Sarawak government's sincere appreciation to the federal government, especially Yang Amat Berhormat the Prime Minister, the Minister for Transport Malaysia, and Minister of Economy Malaysia for approving the new ceiling cost for Miri Airport upgrading project from 150 million to 445 million. This increase was achieved through continuous engagement by my ministry, together with detailed preliminary assessment and value assessment laboratory studies led by the Ministry of Transport Malaysia, involving all relevant federal and Sarawak agencies. The revised ceiling costs will significantly enhance passenger capacity, operational efficiency, safety standards, and overall airport facilities, including the expansion of the terminal building, aircraft parking bays, and passenger processing system. Upon completion, Miri Airport's capacity will increase from 2 million passengers per annum to 4 million passengers per annum. As the second busiest airport in Sarawak and the main hub for rural air services currently operated by Borneo, Miri Airport plays a critical role in connecting urban centres with rural and interior areas throughout Sarawak and Sabah. The Sarawak government remains fully committed to supporting the federal government and all implementing agencies to ensure the successful and timely implementation of this strategic aviation infrastructure project. Mr. Speaker, other ongoing airport development initiatives across Sarawak include the upgrading of Limbang Airport and Barrios Toll Port, the proposed development of Lawas Airport, and the Berbuling Stall Port project are currently progressing as scheduled and represent a continuous Sarawak-owned initiative and close collaboration with the federal government to strengthen and modernize Sarawak's aviation infrastructure. Collectively, these projects are aimed at enhancing regional air connectivity, improving safety and operational efficiency, and expanding access to air services, particularly for rural and remote communities towards fostering economic activities. Tan Sri Speaker, Sarawak Aviation Safety Program. Safety remains our highest priority and requires continuous collaboration, innovation, and regulatory compliance across the aviation ecosystem. Through the Sarawak Aviation Safety Program, SASP, my ministry continues to strengthen aviation safety awareness and preparedness in close collaboration with the Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia, CAM. This year, my ministry organized the Low Altitude Economy Seminar, themed Advancing the Low Altitude Economy, Safe, Smart and Sustainable Growth 2026, in collaboration with the Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia and Curtin University Malaysia in Miri on 31st March 2026. The seminar was attended by 450 participants from government agencies, professional associations, academic institutions, industry stakeholders, and the public. The seminar highlighted Sarawak's strong potential to lead the development of the low altitude economy, LAE, and focus on three core pillars, namely safety, economic development, and technology adoption. The program served as a strategic platform to strengthen regulatory readiness, enhance industry collaboration, and promote best practices in aviation safety and low altitude operations, in line with Sarawak's aspiration to become a regional leader in emerging aviation sectors. Tan Sri Speaker, the Sarawak government remains committed to strengthening aviation connectivity, improving accessibility, enhance cargo and airport infrastructure, and ensuring the aviation sector continues to contribute meaningfully towards Sarawak's economic growth and regional development. Tan Sri Speaker, I would like now to respond to specific issues raised by honourable members of this August House. For information of the honourable member for Kabong, the stage bus service between Sri K and Kabong, which the operator intends to discontinue the stage bus service effective from 1st June 2026, is currently not covered under the existing stage bus subsidy program. Under my ministry's current policy framework, subsidies are provided only for stage bus services that operate short-distance routes within and linking urban and suburban areas in the same administrative division. The proposed discontinuation by the stage bus operator is primarily due to consistent low passengers demand, which has rendered the service financially unsustainable for the operator. Nevertheless, my ministry is working closely with the Commercial Vehicle Licensing Board Sarawak to explore possible assistance or subsidies mechanism through LPKP Sarawak's interim stage bus support fund to support the continuation of this service. Mr. Speaker, for the information of the Honourable for Tanjong Batu, my ministry has plans to replace aging stage bus across Sarawak with priority given to major urban centres and gradual implementation in the smaller towns, including Bintulu. Following the successful rollout of smart bus service in Miri by my ministry, as well as the bus.my Kuching implemented under the federal government Stage Bus Service Transformation SBST program, my ministry is currently implementing the new stage bus SNSB project in Cebu to replace all stage buses. Bintulu is among the towns currently under consideration for inclusion in the subsequent phases of this initiative. My ministry has also initiated a feasibility study on a proposed rail link project in Bintulu, particularly along the key economic corridor between Kedurong and Samalaju industrial area. This initiative aims to improve logistics and public connectivity, reduce reliance on road transport, ease road congestion, and hence overall road safety. Mr. Speaker, for the information of the honourable member for Padungan, it is important to clarify that the KUTS project is not being implemented solely by foreign contractors as alleged. The delivery model for the project involved joint venture participation between local and international companies. All contractors, whether local or foreign partners, are contractually bound to comply with all applicable Malaysian construction laws, regulations, technical standards and safety requirements, including but not limited to Department of Occupational Safety and Health, DOSH, requirements, Construction Industry Development Board standards, traffic management regulations, and environmental compliance obligations. Sarawak Metro and its supervising consultants continuously monitor contractors' performance through regular site inspection, safety audits, compliance monitoring, non-performance reporting, and enforcement of corrective actions where necessary. The KUTS is the first strategic urban public transport project of such scale being implemented within the highly congested city environment of Kuching. The contractors are operating under exceptionally challenging conditions, including live traffic management within densely populated urban corridors, continuous public access requirements, relocation of major utilities, and the presence of extensive underground utility services, many of which are either aging, uncharted, or unrecorded. These challenges naturally increase operational complexity. However, this does not exempt contractors from compliance obligations, and my ministry remains firm that public safety and regulatory compliance shall remain non-negotiable throughout the implementation of the project. Mr. Speaker, regarding the welding debris incident at Jalan Tun Juga, my ministry views the isolated occurrence seriously despite no injuries or damage reported. Through investigation and safety audit, and a thorough investigation and safety audit had been carried out, we showed that standard safety measures were in place, including containment barriers and work zone protection, but extreme heat from molten welding material caused an unexpected breach in the protective layer, allowing limited debris to fall. Following this, enhanced measures were implemented immediately, which included upgraded protective shielding, additional secondary containment layers, stricter pre-hot work inspections, and reinforced contractor safety protocols for overhead activities. Contractors have been instructed to further strengthen site controls to prevent recurrence, as road user and road safety remain the highest priority. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of water supply disruption, one of the key implementation challenges faced throughout the KUTS project is the existence of extensive underground utilities that are aging, uncharted, and unrecorded. Allow me to cite the recent incident involving the asbestos cement pipeline burst along Jalan 1 Alwi. Based on preliminary findings, the affected pipeline was located beneath the existing carriageway and outside the designated construction work zone. It was also not part of the recorded utility information made available during pre-construction planning and verification exercise. Prior to commencement of piling activities, Sarawak Metro and its contractor had undertaken all necessary due diligence measures, including utility detection surveys, trial pits, and piloting investigations within the designated work zone to reconfirm the presence of underground utilities with verification carried out by the respective utility asset owner. The affected pipeline was located approximately 2 meters away from the actual piling location, with no evidence of direct physical contact by construction machinery. Based on pipeline condition assessment and preliminary investigations, the incident is believed to have been contributed by ground vibration and the fragility of an edge asbestos cement pipeline. Mr. Speaker, regarding road conditions and temporary diversions, my ministry acknowledges the inconvenience to road users. The affected roads are temporary diversion routes for the KUTS project designed to facilitate safe construction while maintaining traffic flow. Due to heavy construction works, frequent staging adjustment, and temporary pavement modification, these roads are more susceptible to accelerated wear and tear, including potholes, uneven surfaces, and faded lane marking. Nevertheless, Sarawak Metro continuously monitor these roads through routine inspections and carry out rectification work such as pothole patching, resurfacing, repainting lane markings, and replacing traffic signages. This temporary arrangement will evolve with construction progress. Upon completion of the permanent KUTS structures, all affected roads will be fully reinstated to permanent standards and handed over to the relevant authorities. Mr. Speaker, for the information of the Honourable Member for Padungan, Air Borneo is currently in transition following the acquisition of Maswing with a long-term aim of strengthening Sarawak regional air connectivity. Peak festive phase should not be portrayed as normal phase, as airfare pricing depends on demand, aircraft availability, operational costs, and market conditions. Current routings are part of the Rural Air Services operation based on Public Service Obligation Framework inherited from Maswing operational structure and will be reviewed under Air Borneo's long-term network plan. I would like to refer to the statement made by the Honourable Member for Padungan that Air Borneo, instead of flying from Kuching to Cebu directly, has to fly from Kuching to Miri and back to Cebu. I would like to clarify here that Air Borneo currently does not fly the Kuching-Miri route directly. This route, together with the Kuching-Cebu and Kuching-Bintulu, were discontinued from the Rural Air Service Public Service Obligation Framework in 2019 under the Pakatan Harapan federal government. My ministry has already written to the Ministry of Transport Malaysia requesting reinstatement of these routes under public services obligation for Air Borneo to fly. Air Borneo has already offered seasonal discount of 20% off the usual fare prices for the Hari Raya Aidilfitri travel period, and will continue to do so for other festive seasons, similar to the recent Keamatan and Gawai promotion. Therefore, the public is advised to plan their travels and purchase their tickets early to avoid disappointment. Mr. Speaker, for the information of the Honourable Member for Padungan, the exercises on the acquisition of Maswing from Malaysia Aviation Group by Air Borneo is being undertaken through the relevant corporate entities and agencies. The transaction details involve commercial, regulatory, operational, and strategic consideration. Certain terms remain subjected to formal processes and confidentiality obligation. The transaction also does not fall directly under the commercial authority of my ministry. In response to the issue raised by the honourable members for Padungan, Bukit Asek, Tanjung Batu, and Setakan regarding high airfares, my ministry will take up this matter with the Ministry of Transport Malaysia to find a reasonable solution. In addition, Air Borneo will strive to progressively develop its operational capabilities, fleet planning, and route network. The Sarawak government is also firm in its commitment to provide better connectivity and more sustainable air services, but such transformation cannot be realized overnight. What is important is that, for the first time, the Sarawak government is taking direct and proactive responsibility in shaping the future of regional aviation connectivity for Sarawak instead of depending entirely on other external aviation service providers. Mr. Speaker, before I conclude, I would like to express my sincere thanks and appreciation to all the agencies and stakeholders that have collaborated with my ministry, especially Ministry of Transport Malaysia and agencies under its purview, including Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia, CAM, Road Transport Department, Sarawak, Commercial Vehicle Licensing Board, LPKP, Sarawak, Malaysia, Marine Department, Sarawak Region, as well as the Royal Malaysian Police, PDRM. Our sincere appreciation also goes to all state agencies, including those at the divisional level, for their unwavering support and assistance. I wish to extend my heartiest appreciation to Yang Muhammad Dato' Amar State Secretary, Yang Arif Dato' Sri State Attorney General, and Yang Berbahagia Dato' Sri State Financial Secretary for their continued support. On the same token, I would also like to take this opportunity to express my sincere appreciation to Tan Sri Dato' Amar Speaker, the team and all the staff of Dewan Undangan Negeri Sarawak for their dedication and efficiency in managing and handling the proceeding of this August House. Tan Sri Speaker, saya ingin mengakhiri ucapan dengan 5 rangkap pantun. Sungai Sarawak mengalir tenang, burung kenyalang merentas desa, Borneo terbang mega gemilang, memacu Sarawak ke antarabangsa. Sebelum gawai kita beraya, disambut meriah perpaduan bangsa. Patuhi undang-undang di jalan raya, utamakan keselamatan setiap masa. Pergi ke tamu membeli kerang, kerang dijual saudara muda. Apa ada pada pembangkang, suka berjanji hasilnya tiada. Air sungai jernih mengalir laju, perahu kecil menuju Sri Aman. Abang Jo membawa Sarawak maju, teknologi hijau jadi keutamaan. Wan pantun iban. Tabur ditebah, nyambut temuai. Bujang dara ngajak diruai. Bulan 6 nyau kak datai. Selamat mulai nyambut gawai. Di kesempatan ini juga saya ingin ucapkan selamat Hari Pekerja, selamat Hari Ibu dan selamat Hari Guru kepada semua rakyat Sarawak yang menyambutnya. Saya juga ingin mengucapkan selamat Hari Raya Adha, selamat Hari Bisak dan selamat Hari Gawai kepada semua warga Sarawak yang bakal menyambutnya. Selamat Hari Gawai, Hari Guru, gerai nyamai, lantang senang, nuan menua, celap lindap, petua berlimpah, segulai sejelai, mai penbansang. Oha! Tuan Sri Speaker, saya dengan segala hormatnya menyokong penuh usul penghargaan atas ucapan Tuan Yang Terutama yang di-Pertua Negeri Sarawak sempena perasmian Mesyuarat Pertama Bagi Penggal Kelima Dewan Undangan Negeri ke-19. Thank you.
Ahli yang berhormat, the sitting is now adjourned and the House shall resume its sitting at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Thank you.